Were you surprised when you got diagnosed?
I don't think surprised is the right word. I think relieved. Like I had felt out of control and I didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing for a long time.
Hello everyone, I'm Yopi from Yopis English School. 本日は I'm a Sociopath, Ask Me Anything というソシオパスの方に様々な人が質問をしていくクリップを見ながらネイティブが使うリアルな英語を学んでいきます。By the way, if you want to see the original clip, there is a link down below. So without further ado, let's get straight into it.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay, that's good.
What's your name?
Greg.
What age were you diagnosed?
I think I was around 21, 22.
How old are you?
I am 33.
What's your definition of a sociopath?
A sociopath to me is someone who has no regard for themselves or for other people. You're very impulsive, very irresponsible, reckless, basically like a child.
Were you surprised when you got diagnosed?
I don't think surprised is the right word. I think relieved. Like I had felt out of control and I didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing for a long time. So knowing that there was an actual reason behind why I was doing these things, it was really like kind of freeing in a way.
What made you think you was a sociopath?
Waking up in prison was probably my first clue.
Do you mind me asking what led you to go to prison?
I've committed several crimes. I was using drugs and selling to support my habit. I also have many like retail thefts.
How long ago did you commit those crimes?
The last time I committed any crimes was 2011.
And then you haven't committed any crimes since then?
I wouldn't say I haven't committed any crimes. I haven't committed any major crimes since then. Actually, I don't even drive recklessly anymore like I used to. I stopped stealing. And now that I say it, I don't know if I've been doing crimes. I think I changed my ways.
What made you make the decision to change your life?
Not wanting to go back to prison. It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
What do you think people most often misunderstand about being a sociopath?
Personally, I think that the stereotype is that they're incredibly violent and just malicious just to be mean and like just for its own sake. At least for me, that's not how it presents. More often than not, people with antisocial personality disorder or sociopaths, they're just irresponsible, impulsive people. That can lead to you being a little bit aggressive and irritable, but the myth that they're violent and just out of control monsters is blown way out of proportion.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things that piss you off?
When people can't admit they're wrong or made a mistake, that drives me absolutely crazy. And I think that's just because I used to do that same thing. I used to not ever admit that I was wrong.
I wanted to ask you what your childhood was like.
Part of the problem is, like, I don't store memories very well, so I don't necessarily remember much of my childhood.
Is that a condition associated with being a sociopath?
From what I've gathered, memory is tied to emotion fairly strongly. The way that I experience emotions is not quite as deep as other people, so the emotional tie to like memories that makes them stick in your brain doesn't really happen for me that often.
Have you ever been in love? And do you feel love?
I think so. Like, I do experience emotions and love and connection and closeness. It's just maybe not to the depth or like breadth of some other people.
Who would you say is your favorite person in your life right now?
Probably my son. He's one of the main reasons that I've gotten better. I don't want him to live the same life I've lived. There's a huge genetic component to sociopathy, and the other half of that is your environment. So I have to do everything I can with his environment to overcome his genetics.
Is that you saying that you think like you've learned how to cope with being a sociopath?
So the way I look at it is that I've learned how to not destroy my life by accident. I can manage to stop those thoughts and impulses before they lead to actions.
How can I know that you're being honest with me, and did you lie to any of us?
I don't think I've lied to anybody. I guess I could be lying to you, but it doesn't serve me to lie to you or to most people. I'm here to like share my actual lived experience. I'm not going to lie to you about it.
はい、いかがでしたか？では続いてネイティブが使うリアルな英会話フレーズを4つ選んで解説していきます。1つ目はこちら。
More often than not.
More often than not.
More often than not. More often than not. 大抵。あまり聞きなじみがないかもしれませんが、たまに口語で使われるフレーズです。なんで more often than not で大抵という意味になるのと思われる方もいるかもしれません。諸説ありますが、more often than not の後にはもう一つの often という単語が省略されており、もともとは more often than not often、 つまり not often あまり頻繁じゃないよりは often 頻繁という表現なので、大抵の場合みたいな意味合いになるのではという説明がされます。似たような言葉でいくと usually が挙げられるかなと思います。これも日本語では大抵や通常はなんて訳し方がされます。では例文を見て理解を深めていきます。 More often than not, she chooses to stay in and read a book rather than go out with friends. 彼女は大抵友人と出かけるよりも家にこもって本を読むことを選びます。 More often than not で大抵ですよね。 She chooses 彼女は選びます。 To stay in、stay in だけで家にこもるという意味があります。 And read a book rather than 何々よりもむしろ go out with friends 友達と外出するよりもということですね。では続いて2つ目の例文を見ていきます。 More often than not, the restaurant receives positive reviews from its customers due to its excellent service and delicious food. このレストランはその素晴らしいサービスと美味しい料理で顧客から好意的な評価を受けることが多いです。1から見ていくと More often than not大抵の場合 The restaurant receives positive reviews そのレストランはポジティブなレビューを受け取ります From its customers そのお客様から Due to 何々のおかげでや何々のせいでという意味です It's excellent service その素晴らしいサービスと Delicious food 美味しい料理でということですね。はい、一つ目のフレーズ More often than not についてご理解いただけたでしょうか。では続いて2つ目のフレーズです。
But the myth that they're violent and just out of control monsters is blown way out of proportion.
Blown way out of proportion.
Blow out of proportion. Blow out of proportion. 何々を大げさに騒ぎ立てる。単語からは意味が想像しづらいこのフレーズ。覚えておくと便利ですので、噛み砕いて解説します。Blow は吹くという意味の動詞ですが、ここでは風船を膨らませるように何かを拡大させたりするニュアンスで使われています。Out of は何々の外。Proportion は比率なので、直訳すると比率の外まで膨らませるとなります。つまり適切な比率を超えて物事を大ごとにするという意味合いになるんです。これに強調の way を足して受け身形にしたのがクリップで出てきた blown way out of proportion という表現です。グレッグさんは The myth that their violent and out of control monster is blown way out of proportion と言いました。つまり The myth 神話どのような神話かというと that their violent and out of control monster 彼らが暴力的でコントロールの効かない怪物だという神話ですね is それはblown way out of proportion 大げさに騒ぎ立てられているものだということですね。では最後に例文を一つだけ紹介します。 The media tends to blow minor celebrity mishaps out of proportion, turning them into major scandals. メディアはよく芸能人の些細な不幸を大げさに騒ぎ立て巨大なスキャンダルに変身させる。ここでは blow minor celebrity mishaps これは芸能人の些細な不幸という意味ですよね。 out of proportion芸能人の些細な不幸を大げさに騒ぎ立てるという意味で使われています。はい、では続いて3つ目のフレーズを紹介します。
When people can't admit they're wrong or made a mistake, that drives me absolutely crazy.
That drives me absolutely crazy.
Drive me crazy. Drive me crazy. 私を怒らせる。夢中にさせる。Drive には運転するの他に駆り立てるという意味があり、Drive me crazy というと私を crazy にさせる、駆り立てるという意味になります。Drive me crazy には主に2つの意味があり、クリップに出てきたような私を怒らせるという意味と逆に私を夢中にさせるという意味があります。それぞれの意味で例文を見ていきましょう。The constant noise from the construction work next door is starting to drive me crazy. 隣の工事の騒音が絶えず気が狂いそうだ。 これは私を怒らせるという意味で drive me crazy 使われています。2つ目は She has an amazing voice and her performances always drive me crazy。彼女の素晴らしい歌声とパフォーマンスは私を夢中にさせる。これは私を夢中にさせるという意味で drive me crazy 使われていますね。はい、3つ目 drive me crazy の解説はここまでです。では最後のフレーズご紹介いたします。
From what I've gathered,
From what I've gathered,
From what I've gathered From what I've gathered 私が集めた情報によれば Gather は集めるという意味の動詞です。つまり私が集めた情報や知識、経験によればという意味になります。人から聞いた情報でもいいですし、自分が経験的に獲得した情報でもいいですね。では例文を見ていきます。From what I've gathered, it seems that Sarah and John are no longer dating, but I haven't confirmed it with them yet. 私が調べたところでは、サラとジョンはもう付き合っていないようだが、まだ2人には確認していない。はい、From what I've gathered ご理解いただけたでしょうか。ぜひライティングやスピーキングで使ってみてください。
Yopi's English School。
本日は I'm a Sociopath, Ask Me Anything というクリップを見ながらネイティブが使うリアルな英語を学びました。クリップ内の英語についてわからないところがあれば時間が許す限り回答させていただきます。ぜひコメント欄で共有してください。Alright, so this is it for today. See you next time.